All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another special live internet broadcast of high school football here in Wildwood as the Wildwood Warriors take on the Shallock Cougars in a West Jersey Football League Classic Division game. I'm Brian Kniff, Matt Ulmer handling the production duties for this broadcast. We have to thank some very special sponsors here this evening as well, helping us bring you this game live on the internet at CapeMayCountySports.com. Diamond Beach Bums in Diamond Beach, the Tomcat Restaurant, the J. Byrne Agency, Sea Point Village Realty, and 97.3 ESPN South Jersey. You can also get this game on their website as well if you want to switch over to there and check them out. And we'll give you some more information about our gracious sponsors tonight. Wildwood comes into this game at 4-1. Of course, they feature the state's leading rusher in West Hills, 1,270 yards already through 5 games. The Warriors are wearing the maroon uniforms with maroon helmets and white pants, and they are moving from right to left across your computer screen. Shalick is wearing the white jerseys with gold. Shalick gets an onside kick. It's a live ball, and it looks like Shallock may have recovered it at the Wildwood 41-yard line, let's see, and Shallock believes they have it, and they will start there 1st and 10. And joining me alongside for this internet broadcast is Scott McCracken. Scott, thanks for stepping in tonight.
Brian, how are you?
All right.
Nice to see you fired up for the game.
So onside kick, and Shallock takes over at the Wildwood 41 to start the football game. And Shallock actually has a very good passing game. Jared McCaffrey, and Wildwood's a little mixed up on this coverage here.
3 split out wide.
McCaffrey has 4 touchdown passes on the season. Ran up to the line of scrimmage quickly, but then stepped back. Now he's going to throw what turns out to be a lateral on the outside, breaking a tackle and getting a first down. Is Tyrell Hart. So Hart picks up about 15, and that'll actually go down as a running play as the pass was a lateral.
Nice block there, Brian, on the play.
So Shallock has it now 1st and 10 at the 27 of Wildwood. Backs now are in the eye. They have a double tight end formation on this. Handoff goes to Hart, and Hart gets it down inside the 20 and picks up about 8. This Shallock offensive front, Scott, is probably the biggest set of linemen that they've seen all season.
Absolutely. Looked like they good push on the first play there in scrimmage.
Handoff this time to the fullback. Flag comes flying in. DeAndre Solomon picks up the first down. But looks like a flag might bring this back. It will be holding on Shallock. That's a big break for Wildwood there. That turns what looked like a first down run into now what will be 2nd and about 12 or 13.
From against the 25-yard line, Brian. Drops it back to the 25-yard line.
Yeah, spotted the foul penalty. They drop it back to the 25, so it's 2nd down and about 7. Yeah, now they're going to move it back properly to the 30. They did not mark the yardage off correctly, so now it will go back and be about a 2nd and 12. McCaffrey, a long count. Steps away. Yeah, steps away. Looks like they're going to change the play here at the line. Takes the snap. Hands off again to the fullback. And lunging forward.
3 yards, I'd say.
Nick Crisafulli picks up about 3. Bring up 3rd down and 10.
It's like Mike Poteet made the tackle on that play for Wildwood.
So Shalick running this hurry-up offense here. Handoff on the outside, turning the corner, getting a first down. And down inside the 10 is Thomas Kidwell.
Christian on the tackle. Down inside the 20, Brian.
That's a pickup of about 18 and a first down.
Line.
That ball's down at about the 11 or 12. Shallock can get a first down without scoring a touchdown here. Now McCafferty will go into the shotgun. Back to pass. Fires. It's incomplete. Off the hands of Kidwell at around the 5-yard line. Once again, thanks for joining us. This internet broadcast brought to you by Diamond Beach Bums, the Tomcat Restaurant, the J. Byrne Agency, Sea Point Village Realty, and Ulmer's Appliance. Backs in the eye on 2nd and 10, Scott.
Absolutely.
Handoff inside. Hart bouncing it outside. He's going to get in for a touchdown. Tyrell Hart, a 12-yard run for the score.
Looked pretty easy on that whole series, actually.
Well, Wildwood Scott seemed to be stunned by that onside kick to start the game.
Never really could recover. Interesting setup here, Brian, if you take a look at this.
Yeah, it's kind of that
point attempt.
Swinging gate play. Joe Merker is their field goal. They're going to fake it, throw a pass. The pass was completed, but the receiver went down to one knee. So that pass will go no good. But with 9:36 to go first quarter, it is Shalick leading Wildwood 6-0.
Interesting play there, Brian. They split out to the right side.
It was a short punt.
Not a good kick, Brian. Correct. Looks like, Brian, they're going to decline the penalty.
Yeah, so it's only about a 21-yard punt with no return. So Shallock will have good field position at its own 47.
Correct. Wildwood really needs to step up here, make a nice stop. Their first series, as you said, Brian, Wildwood looked a little off balance on the defensive side of the ball, so hopefully they can pick it up here.
Mainland leads Oakcrest 7-0 in the first quarter in another game over in the Cape Atlantic League. McCafferty under center. They hand it off inside, breaking a tackle at the line of scrimmage. And picking up 6 or 7 yards is DeAndre Solomon.
Tackle by Devin Bradshaw. Gain of about 6, I'd say, Brian. Be 2nd and 4.
Shallock started this game by recovering a squib kick, and it's been all Shallock ever since to this point. Now they're in kind of a wildcat formation here.
Shotgun.
Hart goes in motion.
Over
Snap
his head.
is high.
Bang, get up.
It's over the head.
Tackle. Good tackle.
Hart. That was actually Kennedy who was in motion. Hart is tackled for a loss.
It was Wesley Hills and Jose Valentine on the tackle, Brian. Nice play by Wildwood.
That's a loss of about 13 on the high snap out of the wildcat formation.
Wildwood got in quickly after the bad snap.
So big early play here for the Warrior defense. It's 3rd down at about 17. McCafferty back in at quarterback. Man goes in motion to the far side. He's back to pass. Screen. And
nice
all
tackle.
over it is Mark Kunkel. Nice play by Kunkel. He allowed the receiver Hart to catch the ball, but then simply just stepped up and made the tackle.
Absolutely all over him, Brian. Nice job by Kunkel. Like you said, he allowed him to catch it and made the tackle immediately. So Shallock actually went backwards on that offensive series. So hopefully Wildwood can do something here. 6-0, 5:35 in the quarter.
Yeah, they have it at their own 38. Does Shalick to punt. Standing back deep for Wildwood is Francis Christian. It's a low-line drive kick. They angle it away from Christian, who does a nice job of stepping up, taking it on the second bounce, breaks a couple of tackles, still on his feet, running forward. And now he would do well to go down as he's being gang tackled before he loses it. But a great return, great play by Francis Christian there to field it off a second bounce. If he doesn't field that, Scott, that ball might roll down inside Wildwood's 20. And then he ends up scooping it up, picking up about 15 or 20 yards. And Wildwood's going to have pretty good field position here up at their own 44.
Absolutely, Brian. He also made a bunch of guys miss there, as you've seen with some nifty moves, got it up to the 40-yard line. And like you said, was well served finally to go down. It was being gang tackled.
Six nothing Shalick, 5:09 to go here in the first quarter. Second offensive possession of the game for Wildwood. They start 1st and 10 at their own 44. Bradshaw's in the shotgun this time. Backs are split behind him. Takes the snap. Hands to Hills, who bobbles the ball again, but breaks a tackle, has a first down as he gets up to the 45-yard line. Bobbled the ball again. We haven't seen him fumble much all season, but he's fumbled it once and then bobbled it there. Didn't lose that fumble earlier. That's a pickup of
about 9 or 10 there, Brian.
I think they're going to give him a first down, so pickup of 10.
I don't know exactly what happened. Looked like he got the ball clean and just started to bobble the ball again for, like you said, the second time.
First and 10 for Wildwood at the Shallock 45. They hand it off inside to Valentin. That's a nice run there for Jose Valentin. He picks up 5.
Strong, aggressive run right up the middle. And Valentin, as you said, picks up 5 yards.
Cade May's not playing soccer tonight? Huh? Actually going to mark the ball back at the 41, so it's second down at about 6.
Pick up about 4 by Valentin.
Again, Bradshaw in the shotgun. Takes the snap.
Goes himself.
Fakes it. Goes himself.
Nice
has the
run.
first down and more.
Absolutely, very good run.
And Bradshaw picks up close to 10.
Down to about the 29-yard line. Great play. Nice fake. Got himself open. Runs for the first down.
Wildwood now on the move to pick up their second first down of this drive, and they have it 1st and 10 at the Shallock 31-yard line. Inside 4 minutes to go first quarter. Again, this live internet broadcast brought to you by Omer's Appliance, Diamond Beach Bums, Sea Point Village Realty, Tomcat Restaurant, and the Jay Byrne Agency. We thank all of our sponsors for helping make this broadcast happen, and we're happy to put this out over the internet.
Wesley Hill split wide here. Jose Valentin in the backfield.
Bradshaw throws it out to Hills, and it's incomplete.
Big possession, I'd say here, Brian, for Wildwood High. Down 6-0. Would like to get something going offensively.
Yeah, well, they're in the territory here, Scott, where it's certainly 4-down territory.
Absolutely.
So 2nd and 10 isn't as daunting at the
31
Shallock 31 as it would be at your own 31.
Correct.
Backs are split this time. They toss
Jose Valentin.
to Valentin. Breaks one tackle, lunges forward, and that's a good run there by Valentin, who picks up about 7.
Nice run there, aggressive run, Brian. Breaks 1 or 2 tackles and gets down, I guess, gains about 7 yards.
So 3rd down and a long 2 here for a first down. 6-0 Shalick, 2:55 to go first quarter.
As you said, Brian, probably 4 down territory here. So hopefully they can pick this up here or get it on the next play.
Backs this time are in the eye. Phil Hills fumbles again, and Shalick has it. That's the 3rd time West Hills has bobbled the ball. And bobbled it once, fumbled it once, and now this time fumbles it and loses it. So Shalick will take over.
I know exactly what happened there, Brian, but like you said, it's the 3rd time Hills has had a little bit of problem with the football. Looked like he had a little bit of a seam and an opening, just dropped the football. Wildwood needs to step up on the defensive side of the ball here.
Backs are in the eye for Shalick. They take over 1st and 10 at their own 25. Busted play, ball's loose again. And McCafferty dives on it after a loss of 1. You know, the one thing that Wildwood, obviously Scott has to really adjust to here is, especially they have so many players, almost all of them play both ways. When there's a change of possession, Shalick comes right out and they're up at the line of scrimmage. They run hurry up, they don't huddle.
With the no huddle, absolutely.
Yeah, that's very taxing on the Wildwood players.
Definitely agree. And like you said earlier in the game, certainly the line is certainly bigger than anybody Wildwood has seen, certainly this season.
Handoff off left tackle. Wildwood does a good job bottling that up. Maybe a gain of 1. That was Hart. So that's going to bring up 3rd down and 10.
Looked like Mikel Petit on the stop there.
Minute and a half to go in a pretty quick moving first quarter.
Big play here, Brian. Wildwood absolutely needs a stop. Francis Christian wide here.
Cafferty tosses to Hart. Hart stays on his feet. He may have lost the football, but they're going to say he's down. Okay. He got it back anyway, but it's going to bring up 4th and long. Shalick will most likely have to punt. Hart picked up about 4.
Certainly a good defensive series for Wildwood on that play. Possession. They're going to get the ball back here. Nice stop as they needed to do.
Inside a minute to play first quarter. Christian will drift back to return the kick for Wildwood. McCafferty is the punter, so you always have to watch out for a fake when the quarterback's also the punter.
Low line drive again, Brian.
This time Christian has to back away from it.
Absolutely. He gets that roll that we talked about earlier.
And Shalick downs it all the way down at the Warrior 25-yard line. That's a 45-yard punt with no return, or 43-yard punt with no return.
Nice punt, Brian. Low line drive, rolled, and Christian had to get away from it.
So 33 seconds to go in the first quarter. Wildwood takes over 1st and 10 at their own 25. And
Hill's got to get himself straightened out here and get the ball, obviously gather the ball and get up the field here if they can.
Yeah, I've seen Wildwood play in person twice earlier this year, and Hills, I never saw him fumble or even bobble the football, and now he's having trouble handling it tonight.
In 3 possessions.
They hand it off to him.
Here comes Hills now.
Stumbles nearly in the backfield.
Nice run.
But then is tripped up. He looked like he was about to get a full head of steam there, but he got tripped up, but he still picks up good yardage on first down.
Probably about 7 yards on first down, Brian. Nice run by Hills. As you said, it looked like he had an opening and a seam. 2nd and 3. End of the first quarter, Brian. That ends the first quarter here.
So end of 1. It is Shallock 6, Wildwood 0. Backs are in the eye this time for Wildwood on 2nd down and a long 2. To toss to Hills. He's going to try to sweep.
Here he comes.
Hills is going to be hitting the backfield and loses a couple of yards.
They probably lost 2 on that play,
That
Brian.
was a slow developing play there, Scott.
Absolutely.
And the Wildwood line just couldn't hold their blocks.
Looks like third and about a long 4 here, Brian. You're right. They couldn't hold their blocks. It was too long. Took too long to develop there. Looked like he had a little bit of a seam, but it just took too long for him to get to the line of scrimmage.
All right, third down and 4. Backs are split. Bradshaw tosses to Hills, who had to make an athletic play just to
catch the ball.
Just to catch the football, and he loses a yard.
On the pitch back, Brian, what happened there was Bradshaw threw it a little high, and Hills had a little bit of problem handling it. It was a little too high for him and just to catch the ball.
Well, Bradshaw had a blitzing linebacker right in his grill as the ball was snapped, and that certainly affected the pitch. Hills is back to punt.
Fourth and about 5 here, Brian. Wildwood's going to punt.
And Terrell Hart standing at about his own 39-yard line.
Hills from about his own 19. Fake.
They fake it.
Here's a
Hills
fake. Hills
through the
Brian.
middle. He's going to have the
There
first
he
down
goes.
and more. Hills bounces
There
it
he goes
outside
to the
across
right.
the 40.
Hills, there
He's
he
by a
goes.
man. He's going to go in for a touchdown.
Brian.
A 70-yard run on a fake punt.
Brian certainly surprised everybody in the building. I know it surprised me and you that Hills would punt from his own 19, fake punt. Certainly great play,
Well,
nice run.
You know what, Scott, I'll be honest with you. If he didn't fake the punt and run, the punt might have been blocked. A Shalick player from the far side was right in the area, and I don't know if it was the design call or not, but Hills kind of sensed that and took off right away.
Well, Brian, once you hit some daylight, as you saw on that run, I mean, once you got a little daylight, I mean, there's nobody. Once he gets into the open field there's nobody catching him. So certainly a great play, made the first man miss, and then just right up the sideline. And as you know, no one could really catch him at that point, or certainly was going to tackle him. Great play by Wes Hills. Devin Bradshaw rolls out.
Throws,
the extra point,
it's
no
incomplete.
good.
He was looking for Evan Thame in the corner. Threw it a little high, so the pass fails.
Bradshaw got crushed on that play, Brian. Just as a side note, got hit.
Back even at 6, early stages, second quarter here.
Sure, Brian. As we talked about earlier, I think Wildwood has weathered that little storm of the onside kick and that first quarter, gets themselves back in the game, and hopefully gets a little momentum here from the touchdown.
All right, Hills the kickoff. 6-6 game. Hills. Nice line drive kick in the corner.
Absolutely. Almost went out of bounds there, Brian. Returning from about the 10.
Nice job by Wildwood, too, to stay disciplined on that return. And Shallock's going to start deep in its own territory at about its own 13.
Nice coverage, certainly nice kick coverage from Wildwood High.
Hey, Wes!
About 10 minutes, 13 seconds in the second quarter, Brian. So we're at 6-6 game. Shallock first and 10 from their own 13-yard line.
Now let's see what Wildwood can do defensively here. This is really the first time Shallock's been real deep in their own territory here to start a drive. Handoff.
Nice stop there. A little bit of a stop, couple yard gain, I'd say, Brian.
It was Hart picking up about 4.
Looks like Mikel Petit on the tackle for Wildwood. Looks like a pickup of about 4, Brian, 4 or 5 yards.
Hand off to the fullback. And nice tackle on the outside there by Evan Thame. Taking down DeAndre Solomon for no gain.
Actually got him a little bit from behind. Nice play, certainly by Thame.
And he did the right thing, tackling the big fullback down low. So big play here in the second quarter. Third down and 5 for Shallock. They have it at their own 17-yard line. If Wildwood can hold here, they'll get good field position. They hand it off to Hart. He's going to have the first down and more. And he's finally tripped up in the Wildwood secondary. Comes out all the way across the 30 yard line to the 33.
I was just about to say Brian Wildwood was doing a nice job against the run, but right at that point he breaks through and gets about 10 yards.
1st and 10 for Shallock. As you can see, they do not huddle, keeping the Warriors on their toes defensively. Handoff inside to Solomon, and Solomon picks up about 7. He's up close to the 40.
Devin Bradshaw on the tackle. Probably about 6 or 7 on that play, Brian. Correct.
6-6 game between Wildwood and Shallock. 8.5 to go before halftime. 2nd down and 3 for Shallock. McCafferty tosses to Hart. Hart trying to turn the corner.
Tackle.
Nice play on the outside. I think that's Valentin.
Jose Valentin, great tackle.
Yeah, Hart lost about 4 on that play.
He broke that up, Brian. He got right back in the backfield and made a great tackle. Nice play right through the blockers. Catches him in the backfield. 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, again, another 3rd and long here for Shallock, and we'll see if Wildwood can get a stop.
As we said, another big play. Wes Hill's actually on the sideline on this defensive series.
McCafferty hands off. Hart has the 1st down. Comes up across the 45 to the 47, and it's a pickup of about 10 or 11.
Went to the outside, cut it back inside, and like you said, pick up about 7 in the 1st down. Looked like he had a shot at him a little bit in the backfield, but did not get him.
So 1st and 10 for Shallock. They started this drive at their own 13. They now have it at their own 47. They hand it off to Solomon, the fullback, who picks up about 2 or 3.
Looks like Mikel Poteet on the tackle for Wildwood. At the 49-yard line, Brian. I guess pick up about 3.
2nd down and 7. 6:55 to go in the 2nd quarter. Hand off to Hart, trying the right side.
Oh, nice
and
play.
good hit there. Looked like Evan Fame was in there.
Brian, a little skirmish after the play, hopefully.
And the referees and the players get in there and cool things down.
Josh Sanchez, I believe, on that last tackle, Brian. Brings up 3rd and about 7. Maybe a long 7. .6:24 left in the 2nd quarter. 6-6 ball game. Josh Sanchez coming off. I think he was one of the guys in a little bit of that skirmish after the play.
Notice this drive, Scott. Shalick has been doing a lot of the stuff to the right side, following the right side of their offensive line.
Which actually, as we said earlier in the game, their line looks pretty big. And you're right, following those big guard and tackle on the right-hand side. Again,
so another 3rd and long here. Shallock's already converted 2 3rd and longs on this drive. Ball is right at midfield.
Again, big play for Wildwood, Brian. Certainly need to stop here. Wide receiver split way wide. Here they come in motion, Brian.
They hand off to Hart. Hart through the line. He's got the 1st down and
goes,
more.
Brian.
And
there
he's
he goes.
He's
gone. Jeez.
A 50-yard run for a touchdown by Tyrell Hart. And they continue, Shallock does, to run the ball to the right side.
As you said, Brian, right pass up the right side, over the guard and the tackle, I'd say, and blasted it right up the right-hand side, up the middle, got the opening and the seam, and then burst down the middle. Could not be caught. That looked too easy, Brian.
Yeah, way too many, three third and long conversions on that drive by Shalick. Kick is away, and that is no good, as it was Joe Merker. And it's no good, so Shalick leads it 12-6 with 5:56 to go in the first. Backs are in the eye. Bradshaw's under center. Hands to Hills. Hills is bottled up right at the line of scrimmage. And right now, Wildwood is just losing the battle on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively at the line of scrimmage. I mean, right there, Hills had 3 Shalick defenders right in his lap almost immediately when he took the handoff. He actually did well to maybe gain a yard.
Yeah, no hole there at all, Brian.
2nd down and 9. Backs are in the eye again. Toss to Hills. Hills cuts back, spins out of one tackle, and is taken down for a loss.
Not much there at all, Brian. Certainly keying on Hills, as you can see there. Looks like they have 5 guys, 6, 7 guys getting up in the box there. And Hills nowhere to go.
Wouldn't have surprised me there if Shalick had taken a timeout, but they elect not to. It's 3rd down and about 13 for Wildwood. Ball at their own 30.
Still 4:40 left in the second quarter. So, I mean, hopefully they should be okay if they get the ball back. But need a big play here by Wildwood.
Wildwood needs to get out beyond its own 42 for a first down.
3rd and 12.
Bradshaw hands to Hills. Hills
Not
is
much
taken
there
down
again,
at the line of scrimmage. Tackled by Tariq Furbush.
Be 4th down for Wildwood. Very lackluster series there for Wildwood on the offensive side.
Yeah,
3
and
plays
on 4th down and about 13 here, I think Wildwood almost certainly, unless something crazy happens, almost certainly has to punt this ball away.
Well, I think they
I
certainly
think
will.
you're going to have a fake on this one.
No.
He gets the kick away. It's a low line drive that bounces around. Actually, this will end up being a pretty effective punt for the Warriors as Wildwood downs it at the 28-yard line.
Certainly looked like a good punt, Brian, but it was very effective, as you said.
Ends up being a 42-yard punt.
28-yard line with no return, so good punt.
3:38 to go before halftime. 12-6 Shalick.
Wildwood needs a good series here on defense, get themselves back in the game, and they need a little motivation on the sidelines, so they certainly could use a big defensive series.
For those of you watching out there on the World Wide Web on CapeMadeCountySports.com, we will probably have a long break at halftime. The video will continue to run, but it is homecoming for Wildwood, so we will have a long halftime here tonight. They hand it off to Hart, who goes right up the middle, and he may be gone. Terrell Hart, untouched through the middle of the defense for a 72-yard touchdown.
Brian, not exactly sure what happened there, but Hart breaks right up the middle, not touched at all, burns down the sideline for a touchdown. Makes it 18-6 with the point after attempt here.
So Hart gives Shallock a 2-touchdown lead here with 3:27 to go before halftime. Merkel's on for the extra point, and this time his kick splits the uprights, and Shallock leads at 19-6.
I don't know exactly what happened there, Brian, but like you said, he took it right up the middle, untouched. Once he got a little seam in the opening, he was gone.
giving them some cause for concern as Shalick hasn't kicked one deep yet. Everything's been a squib kick.
Correct.
Shalick recovered the one to start the game and then almost recovered another one later on, too.
Wildwood needs something positive here to go into the half. They certainly need a good possession, but first off, they have to recover this kick here. Which
This
again
one's a line drive that will go out of bounds. So this will.
Brian, did that touch a Wildwood player on the way through or not? I think it might have touched a Wildwood player here.
They came up and made the.
Threw the flag.
They did throw the flag and make the signal, so that would give Wildwood the ball at the 35-yard line.
It looks like that's where they're going to start. I think what you need here, if you're Wildwood, Brian, you need a good offensive series and hopefully can get some points before the half. 3:25 left. And as you said, West Hills has certainly not been on track.
Yeah, other than that, he had a couple runs of about 10 yards and then obviously the 70-yard fake punt for a touchdown. But other than that, he's been really bottled up by the Shallock defense here in the first half.
Absolutely agree with that.
Here's Bradshaw under center. Backs are in the eye. Fakes the Hills. Has some time to throw back screen to Marshall Howe, who was tackled in the backfield.
Brian, just as we said, just took a little bit too long to develop there. It looked like certainly was open, but it just took too long to get the play through. And Shallock caught up to that play and actually got him in the backfield for about a 3-yard loss.
Well, the ball was underthrown. I mean, Bradshaw needed to really put a little more zip on that ball. And Howell had to come back to the ball.
Looked like they had it set up, Brian, down the side. But now you're going 2nd and 12. 2:42 left in the half.
Howell goes in motion. It's a toss to Hills.
Hills around the outside.
Avoids one tackle and ends up picking up about 3. This will bring up 3rd down, and I'm actually surprised Shallock didn't use a timeout here.
3rd and about 10 here. Kind of has Hills bottled up at this point, and certainly keying on him.
You got 3 timeouts. This is a big play for us. Okay, let's let it get down. Let's call timeout. Let's think about this. You're not sure.
2 minutes and 6 seconds left in the half, Brian.
Because you got 2 things here. You want to score, but you also don't want to give them the ball anymore with any time.
Wildwood actually calls timeout.
Wildwood calls time with 1. Well, actually, the clock's still running.
Okay, tell your offensive line to block.
So it's 3rd down and 10 for Wildwood out of this timeout. They trail Shallock 19-6, 2:01 to play before halftime.
Jose Valentine and Francis Christian, or Wesley Hills in the backfield.
And they're going to run a draw. Ball is on the ground, and Shallock has it. I don't think they ever made the exchange on the handoff.
I think you're right about that. I think Bradshaw never got it into Hill's hands, and the ball was dropped on the ground. Shallock takes over on the 30-yard line, 1st and 10. As we just said, with 1 minute and 54 to go in the half, 19-6. Shallock looking to add to their lead.
Well, this
could be devastating.
Yeah, this is a huge defensive series here for Wildwood now. They have to keep Shallock off the clock. You go down by any more than 2 scores, you're looking at a real daunting task in the second half. They hand to Hart, and he is taken down after a pickup of about 3 or 4. Shallock still with all 3 timeouts. Shallock, remember, also has a good field goal kicker in Joe Merker. He's kicked 2 field goals this year. So they probably don't have to go real far to get in the scoring position here.
1:27 left to go in the second quarter. Shallock on about the 27-yard line.
Cafferty hands off to Hart.
Hart's been
Hart
killing him.
picks up a few, but will be short of a first down. And Shalick calls timeout with 1:07 to go in the first half. 19-6, the Cougars lead it. They'll have third down and about 3 out of the timeout. Tonight's broadcast over the World Wide Web on CapeMayCountySports.com, brought to you by Ulmer's Appliance for all of your appliance repair needs throughout the Wildwoods and all of Cape May County. Give them a call for all of your appliance repair needs. Diamond Beach Bums, beach equipment, summer clothes, and accessories down deep in Diamond Beach on Pacific Avenue, 522-9552. The Tomcat Restaurant, great food right on New Jersey Avenue, open year-round, 729-0500. The J. Byrne Agency, 5200 New Jersey Avenue, 522-3406 for all of your insurance needs throughout the county. And, of course, for your real estate needs, especially down in the Diamond Beach area, Sea Point Village Realty, 729-7100. Cedar Creek in another game leads Pleasantville 27-6. Pleasantville actually scored the first points of the game.
Cedar Creek certainly having a great season.
But Cedar Creek got 27 straight. All right, here's Shalick on third down and about 2.
Looked for the ball to go to Hart here, Brian, as you know, and here he comes.
They hand it to Hart.
Oh.
He's hit at the line of scrimmage, but it looks like
forward.
fumbles the football, and I think Wildwood might have it. They do.
They do.
Wildwood catches a huge break.
Big play there, Brian. And that certainly, as he was driving for the first down, lost the football.
Hart looked like he had the first down, and then he was fighting for some extra yards and fumbled it.
Huge play for Wildwood, and he's certainly been the kid that's been killing Wildwood.
Not sure who recovered it. It looked like Evan Thame was in the area.
Josh Sanchez and Mikel Poteet looked like they were in on the tackle.
So Wildwood dodges a bullet there.
Minute to go, Brian, in the second quarter. 19-6.
Because they're going to want us to punt. So let's see how many yards we get here. Just be thinking about that.
So first and 10 for Wildwood at their own 15. 1 minute to play in the first half. Shallock and Wildwood each have 2 timeouts remaining. Bradshaw hands it off inside to Valentin. Nice run, picks up about 6.
50 seconds, timeout, Wildwood High.
And again, we will keep the video running, but we will step away from the broadcast at halftime. It will be a long halftime with the homecoming festivities for Wildwood High School here at Maxwell Field. Another pretty good crowd here tonight. And unlike Salem, Shallock actually, their fans found the place. Salem, I think, got about 3 fans here last week. Shallock's got, about 100 or so on the other side.
That's a good number.
If you include the cheerleaders and the band, they probably do have about 100 people here.
I think you're probably right on that.
They hand it off to Hills, but we have a whistle. And I believe we're going to have a dead ball foul, and it's illegal motion on Wildwood.
They weren't even set on defense.
Brian, I think what's happening here, Wildwood just seems a little off kilter in the game. Can't get their offensive going. Can't even really get the ball to West Hills. Certainly they want to give him the ball, but just can't get it going. And as you said, Shallock probably one of the bigger teams they faced, bigger defensive lines, and really keen on West Hills. But Wildwood certainly needs to do a better job of
now we're going to have
penalties.
We're going to have another issue with the clock. That clock never should have started there because it was out of a timeout. That play was blown dead before the snap last time.
50 seconds should
but
be
I
back.
believe what had happened was that the official on the field actually started the clock, which shouldn't have happened.
Back to 50 seconds on the clock, 19-6, second quarter.
Here's how it's going to go down, Coach. Whenever we get here, and we don't get a big game.
So second down, and now it's about 2nd and 7. 2nd and 8, somewhere in that range.
7, correct. 2 receivers split out wide right, 1 to the left. Bradshaw under center.
Hand off to Hills.
Up to middle.
Has some room through the middle, gets up to the 20. And Shalick will take time out here.
Third and a long 2, 3 yards, Brian. 42 seconds left in the second quarter, 19-6. Again, I think Wildwood really needs to get to the half.
Yeah, this is a important play here for Wildwood. If you don't pick up the first down, Shallock still has another timeout, and Wildwood will have to punt the football, which
certainly don't want that. Brian, hopefully.
It's not an easy play. You got to execute that snap, get a kick away.
Really, Brian, if you think about it, other than the fake punt, Wildwood has not got anything going offensively at all.
They had the one drive where they drove from deep in their own territory down to the 25, and that was when Hills fumbled.
They've had that problem several times tonight.
They had that started at their own 44, actually, got 2 first downs, and on a 2nd and 2 play, West Hills fumbled at the 25-yard line of Shalick. And Wildwood was actually in a position there to go in to take the lead. That was when the score was 6-6.
Then you had Hart with the 2 big runs.
Right.
One up the middle, one up the sideline, one up the middle, and just really untouched. And Wildwood hasn't been able to get on track defensively.
42 seconds to go, 3rd down and 4 for Wildwood. Hand off to Hills. And Hills doesn't get much, maybe a yard. And Shallock's going to take their last time out and make Wildwood punt the football.
34 seconds left in the second quarter, Brian. Seems like everything's up in the box for Shallock, and Wildwood just can't get anything started. Can't get through that first line of defense for Hills to break it through.
So timeout on the field for Shalick. 19-6, they lead Wildwood. Wildwood will have to punt with 34 seconds left, and this is a situation here, Scott, where if you're West Hills on this punt, you really don't worry about much distance at all. You just want to get the thing out of there.
Get it clean and get it away, and hopefully, like you said,
if you can just push Shalick back even remotely close to midfield, you're in pretty good shape with only 34 seconds left. And that timeout there was Shallock's final timeout, I believe, of the half.
Correct. That's definitely correct. So hopefully what you can do here, like you said, get it out to about midfield, and Shallock drops Hart back, who's been the guy who's been killing Wildwood. He drops back for the punt. Hopefully West can just get this off or get it away from this kid, actually.
Pretty good snap. Not much of a rush.
Good kick, Brian. Actually,
good kick by Hills.
No return, which is good news, down to about the 38-yard line. So nice punt by West Hills, no return.
And now they finally blow it dead with 22 seconds left. That was a good punt.
Certainly.
Receiver set here.
3 split wide right, 1 to the left.
And Wildwood doesn't even have one of them guarded on the outside.
Looks like now.
Finally they're going to step out Mark Kunkel to take the inside slot receiver.
Correct. And actually,
and
that's
goes
where the
to
ball
Hart.
goes.
That's going to be
that's
a lateral.
That's a lateral, Brian, yes.
That ball will go out of bounds. That's going to be a loss of about 8 or 9 yards.
That's a live ball there. That's interesting. But with about 16 seconds to go in the half, actually stepped back and threw it behind. And as you said, Kunkel stepped up finally on defense, and that was the slot receiver on the outside.
So 2nd down and very long here. 2nd down and about 18. 16 seconds to go before half.
Same set for Shallock with the 3
Cafferty
wide.
back to pass. He's going to throw it deep down the far sideline, incomplete, out of bounds. Nice job by the safety, Francis Christian, to basically stay behind the play.
With about 9-10 seconds to go, just under 10 seconds to play, Brian, in the half. Like you said, at this point, just don't let anybody get behind you, and you should be okay, as they have no timeouts and can't stop the clock.
.9 seconds to go before halftime.
Third down, Brian, and a bunch, as you see. 3 receivers split out wide to the left.
And once again, Wildwood is only covering 2 of them. They hand it off inside, and Solomon is taken down, and that'll be the final play of the half. So at the half, it is Shalick 19, Wildwood 6, and we will be back. The start we'll come back for the second half. We'll keep our video stream going, and but we will step aside here. I'm Brian Kniff alongside Scott McCracken. One more time, we'll tell you about our sponsors: the Tomcat Restaurant, 729-0500, 437 West Rio Grande Avenue in Wildwood. Great food, open year-round. The J. Byrne Agency, serving all of your insurance needs in the Wildwoods and beyond. 5200 New Jersey Avenue, 522-3406. Sea Point Village Realty for all of your real estate needs in Diamond Beach and all of the Wildwoods, 729-7100. And Diamond Beach Bums, 522-9552, located on Pacific Avenue, deep in Wildwood, deep in Diamond Beach, I should say. Beach equipment, summer clothes, and summer accessories. And, of course, Ulmer's Appliance, serving all of your insurance needs, or serving all of your appliance repair needs throughout Cape May County. Again, Shallock leads Wildwood at the half, 19-6, and we'll be back in a little bit on CapeMayCountySports.com. Wildwood High, actually Maxwell Field in Wildwood. Wildwood football team trailing Shallock 19-6 here at the half. Special live internet broadcast on CapeMayCountySports.com. I'm Brian Kniff alongside Scott McCracken. This game being brought to you by Ulmer's Appliance, Diamond Beach Bums, Tomcat Restaurant, the J. Byrne Agency, and Sea Point Village Realty. And we also thank our friends over on 97.3 ESPN for attaching our link to their webpage. Shallock leads at 19-6. They will have the ball to start the second half, and we've got some pretty bleak injury news for the Warriors. Their starting quarterback, Devin Bradshaw, and their starting fullback and middle linebacker, Jose Valentin, are both, from what we've been told, out for the second half due to concussions.
Actually heard that at the half, Brian, and as they come out in the second half, we actually get that confirmed that both players will not play in the second half, which certainly puts a damper on Wildwood's chances for this game. But at 19-6, certainly still in the game, but not having your quarterback and not having your middle linebacker and also running back certainly hurts your chances here. Wildwood to kick off here, Brian. As you remember, Shallock has started the game with the onside kick with the recovery. So Wildwood will kick off Wesley Hills. Hopefully they got a good pep talk at the half.
Yeah, Wildwood will certainly need a defensive stop on this first possession of the second half.
Wesley Hills to kick off in the second half. Again, 19-6. Wildwood down a few guys, but hopefully can pick up the pace in the second half.
Wildwood boots it, and this ball's going to bounce around. It's going to stay in bounds. That seemed to be a quick whistle there. Whistle blew. Looked like that ball was still loose, but Shallock's going to have it anyway, right outside its own 25.
At the 26-yard line, I'd say, Brian, or maybe 27-yard line, 1st and 10. Certainly with the struggles Wildwood's had on defense, the Valentine injury is certainly going to hurt the Wildwood defense. As we talked about earlier, I think we'll see Wesley Hills back on the defensive side of the ball.
Now we have a flag down, and Shallock believes that this is on Wildwood.
Both teams pointing both ways against Wildwood. Brian, do you know who will be at the backup quarterback position for Wildwood? Do you know who's going to be in the game for Wildwood at the QB position?
I honestly don't know, Scott. We're going to have to see that as it goes. Wildwood only dressed 21 players for tonight's game. So now it seems as if they don't have 2 of them for this entire second half, and they're 2 pretty big playmakers for the Warriors, the starting quarterback and a running back and middle linebacker. So, and now what that also is going to do is it's going to force Wes Hills onto the field probably for almost every defensive snap as long as Wildwood can stay in this game.
Who is currently on the defensive end.
They hand it off to Solomon, who is still on his feet, breaking tackles, and finally is brought down inside Warrior territory. That is a gain of about 29 yards. And yeah, if Wildwood can't make a play here,
Brian.
This could get ugly quickly.
Big gain. Looked like they had him stacked up. He went for about another 10 or 15 yards.
Terrell Hart, by the way, at the half for Shallock, 15 carries, 186 yards. Wes Hills for Wildwood had 95 yards on 15 carries, but he got 70 of those yards on his fake punt run for a touchdown. Handoff again to Solomon.
This time Wildwood bottles him up for a gain about 1 or 2 yards. Did a nice job there. Josh Sanchez on the tackle for Wildwood.
Solomon got about 2 on that run. Bring up second down and about 8. Hand it off to Hart, bounces outside,
to the outside,
and is finally taken down inside the 35. And
Francis
Wes Hills, the outside linebacker, got caught inside on that one, Scott, and that left the outside wide open. And now we have a Shallock player, and that's Hart, who's slow to get up.
It's up, Brian. He looks like he's limping on his right ankle. He gets up and he's limping off to the sideline. He's certainly been the workhorse for Shallock tonight.
Yeah, that 5-yard gain, he's 16 carries, 191 yards.
3rd and about 4, a long 4.
Going off under his own power, but as you can see, he's limping as he goes to the sideline, so we'll watch for his return.
Again, Brian, we've been saying it all night, but this is a big down for Wildwood defense. Certainly need to stop here.
3rd and a long 3 for the Warriors. Shallock most certainly in 4 down territory here. inside the 35-yard line of Wildwood. They hand it off to Solomon, who will be short of the first down, I believe. He picks up 1 or 2.
Josh Sanchez on the tackle, assisted by Wes Hills. 4th and possibly long 1 or 2 here, Brian. As you said, 4-down territory.
Yeah, they need to get
at about the 31-yard line of Wildwood.
They need to get just shy of the 30 for a first down.
Tries to draw the Warriors off sides. Back under center.
Takes the snap.
Here we go. Oh, wow, nice stop.
Nice job by Wildwood. I think it's going to be close.
Defensive series, Brian. I think they stopped them there.
Let's show them something here.
Yeah, Wildwood certainly did a real good job there.
All turned over on downs. Nice play by Wildwood defense there. Certainly needed to stop, Brian, as we talked about. Wildwood takes over on the their own 31-yard line. Like Sanchez and Mikel Petit.
And it looks like Wes Hills is going to come in and play quarterback.
I think you are absolutely correct.
So Hills, this will certainly be a wildcat look
Francis
for the Warriors.
Christian in the backfield.
With Mark Kunkel. So Hills will go to the quarterback position, takes the direct snap, runs off right tackle, breaks a tackle, is hit, and then comes down up close to the 40. So nice run there. That's a pickup of 7 or 8. And then we have a late hit called against Shallock, and this will be a 15-yard penalty.
Personal foul. Looks like on number 58, Brian.
Yeah, that's Alexander Stewart, one of the captains for Shallock, and a couple of Wildwood players did well to pull Jose Sanchez out of there. Sanchez was kind of taunting Stewart. And then they called the second penalty. That's actually a good call by the official. Sanchez, after the penalty was called on Stewart, Jose Sanchez started taunting the player for Shalick.
Not a good play. I don't know, Brian. They're marking it off here. The 15-yard personal foul, so I don't think
you know what? But I think perhaps that they pointed in the wrong direction is what happened here.
Those two look like they had a little bit going at the end of the first half as well. Same two players, but here we go. What looks like Wildwood's going to have the ball on the 45-yard line of Shallock.
So Hills in the quarterback position. He looks like he took the first play out of the shotgun position. He's going to take this one as well. As we mentioned earlier, the starting quarterback, Devin Bradshaw, is out with concussion-like symptoms. Hills' snap goes through his legs. It was a low snap.
Hills picks it up.
He's going to run up the sideline, is hit and taken down.
42-yard
line. That's some inexperience there, Scott, because Hills would have done well after he picked the ball up of simply throwing it downfield and out of bounds. Instead, he's going to lose about 12 yards here.
And you're right. He should have got rid of that ball, but the ball being snapped actually by him with a bad snap. Did pick it up and tried to gain anything he possibly could.
Yeah, once he brought the ball to the sideline, he might have done well just to chuck the thing downfield out of bounds and save the yardage. But that's, there's a kid that normally doesn't play the quarterback position. He's a running back, so he picks up a loose ball. He's going to look to run.
Absolutely, Brian. And
so it's going to be 2nd down and 22 now. Ball at their own 43-yard line. 8.5 to go.
Kunkel in the backfield with, I believe it's Francis Christian and Wes Hills. In the backfield.
Another bad snap. Hills does a great job to go grab the high snap, then bobbles it and simply dives forward to prevent a turnover.
Certainly not.
But it's a loss of 3 on the play.
Back to the 39-yard line. 8 minutes and 5 seconds left in the third quarter, 19-6. tough spot, Brian, for Wildwood here, not having your quarterback and Hills back, like you said, inexperienced in the quarterback slot.
Wildwood better hurry up here. They're in danger here of a delay of the game penalty. They came out of the huddle. They're inside 5 seconds now. I don't know if Hills recognizes that.
2.
And we are going to have, they get it off. Hills
again.
bobbles the snap again, runs out to the right,
Brian.
and is taken down.
You're right again. He could have threw that ball away, but the inexperience doesn't really know.
That's a loss of about 15. And all these bad snaps actually go against West Hills' rushing totals.
Well, Brian, here we go. They're going to snap back to West Hills for the punt, but that was a disastrous series for Wildwood. Did nothing on offense. And, of course, West Hills being at the quarterback slot.
They actually had the ball up at the Shallock 45-yard line after the first down, after the 8-yard run, and then the penalty on Shallock. Hills gets the kick away. It's high but very short. It's going to bounce, take a Warrior bounce, and Wildwood will down it at the 42-yard line.
Tough series for
Back
Wildwood.
in the game, he was banged up on the last offensive series for Shallock, but he has returned. He's got 16 carries for 191 yards.
He's been phenomenal in the game.
And they hand it to him. He cuts it back through the middle and picks up about 7.
Nice run there, Brian. Right up the gut and breaks it for about 5 or 6 yards, as you said. Somebody from Wildwood looks like they're down, and that's number 33, which is Francis Christian. So he's getting back to his feet here, and he will have to come off for a play. The trainer's out to get him.
Yeah, it almost looked, Scott, like he wanted to stay in the game, so that's a good sign.
That is a good sign.
But he'll have to, obviously, as you said, come out for at least one play. I think he might have taken a helmet to the stomach or something of that nature.
Looks like he might have had the wind knocked out of him. He looks like he's okay. His hands up on the sideline as they look at him.
Second down and a short 4. Shallock again, as they've done the whole game, no huddle. They get the play relayed from the sideline. Now McCafferty's ready to go.
Hart.
Hands off to Hart.
It's a first down and more, Brian.
Inside the 40.
Brings the ball down to about the 39 or 38-yard line.
Pickup of about 14.
Too much, Brian, just too much yards on the ground. Wildwood not able to stop them at all.
First and 10 at the Warrior 39. Well, you're in a situation here, and Wildwood is up against this in many of their games. You know, Shallock looks like they have about 35 players in uniform. Wildwood they're now down to 19 with the 2 injuries.
Hart up the right-hand side, breaks free. Wow, Brian, down to about the
first down and more, picks up about 15.
25-yard line, down to about the 25. Just looks too easy at this point.
$19 carries, 226 yards for
Hart.
Terrell Hart.
He's been the player, Brian, certainly that's killed Wildwood tonight.
This time they hand it off to DeAndre Solomon. I think he may have lost.
I think Wildwood picks up the
got
fumble, Brian. Hart fumbles, or was it? I think it was
Solomon picked up 3 but lost the football.
Was that Solomon, Brian, or was that Hart? I think it might have been Hart coming through the line that fumbled the ball, I believe. And Wildwood picks up the fumble, which either way, certainly great defensive play for Wildwood, picking up the fumble.
Now we'll see what Wildwood can do with this center snap here. Hills is in the game as a Wildcat quarterback with Devin Bradshaw's injury.
Hopefully.
You know, with everything that's happened here, Hills is the kind of kid that can break one, and then if he does, all of a sudden it's a one-score game.
Well, 4:58 left in the third quarter, 19-6. Hopefully we can make something happen here for Wildwood.
Another
Again,
high snap.
Bad snap.
Hills takes it on a bounce and then falls down at the 5-yard line.
Brian, I'm starting to think that Hills might have to get under center here. They've had so many problems with the snap. The shotgun doesn't look like it's seeming not to work here. Hills might have to get under center.
You know, from a personal statistics thing, all those bad snaps count against his rushing totals.
Well, they haven't even been close, Brian. They're all over his head, on the ground, to the left, to the right, nothing even near him at this point.
Wildwood needs to get out to their own 31-yard line for a first down. And right now they have it at their own 6.
Oh.
The center is Khalil Giddings right now. Takes the direct snap through the middle.
Snap. Here goes Hills.
Right
there
down the middle.
Hills.
Has a first down and more.
Hills.
Great cutback.
There he goes.
Across the 50.
There he goes, Brian. Down the sideline.
Can he beat the last defender? And he is in for the touchdown from 94 yards out. And all of a sudden, it's a one-score game.
Now that is pretty wild. Oh, we got a flag.
We have a flag down all the way back at the 25-yard line, and let's see what this is.
Looks like it's going to be against Shallock.
The touchdown will count.
Good stuff on the kick against Shallock. Certainly an exciting run, Brian. Hills breaks free once he gets it.
Yeah, he just showed the kind of talent that he has on that run right there.
From
Broke
the
a couple of
Brian.
tackles, and not only did he outrun kids, but he outran kids that can run, is what he did on that touchdown run.
Brian, once he got into the clear of the opening, I didn't think, as we said, we didn't think anybody could catch him. And one guy had a shot at him finally at about the 10-yard line, but West just beat him down the sideline.
So a 94-yard touchdown run.
Really gets Wildwood back in the game, Brian, at 19-12 with the point after coming here. West Hills jogs back on the field.
So 19-12. This is a big 2-point conversion here. Wildwood does not kick. So if they score on this 2-point conversion, they're within 5. It's 19-12. Shallock on top, 3:44 to go, third quarter.
Again, Brian, the biggest thing here is getting the snap. Khalil
this time it's a good snap.
West.
Hills is looking to throw. It's caught, and Marshall Howe dives into the end zone.
That's a good play there, Brian. Kind of surprised. Everybody expected Hills to take that direct snap and run it in. He actually throws the pass. Nice play, Wildwood. Brings a little excitement into the building, certainly, and certainly on the sidelines. Wildwood is pumped up. Again, it's 19-14, 3:44 left in the third quarter. As we said, Brian, a great run from West Hills from their own 6-yard line.
And Wildwood, let's get back to that penalty that was thrown at the end of Hills' run was actually on Shalick, and it's being assessed on the kickoff. So Wildwood is going to kick off from the Shalick 45-yard line.
Which is great news, Brian. So it's going to be, obviously, Shallock should be deep in their own territory if Wildwood can cover the punt here. Certainly.
And Wildwood's got a couple options here, Scott. You never know. You could try an onside kick here. You could try a squib kick. Or you could just try to hammer the thing through the end zone and put Shallock on the 20 if you can. The other option is you try to line drive, kick it, right it and up, man.
Here we go, Brian.
Hills, it's a
moves it.
line drive through the middle.
Down to the
Picked up at the 8-yard line by Hart. Uh-oh. He's out the right side. Hart is gone. Across midfield, and Hart will return it 92 yards for a touchdown.
That is a backbreaker, Brian. Total backbreaker there. Player down for Wildwood, number 80.
Yeah, it looks like Marshall Howell.
Marshall Howell is actually hurt on the play. And it does look like his knee. Shallock on the 50-yard line.
Down.
You're right, Brian.
1st and 10 for Shalick. Wildwood nearly jumps offside.
As we said time and time again, Wildwood needs to stop here. 25-14, 3 minutes, 25 seconds, third quarter. Here comes Hart.
Handoff again to Hart.
There he goes,
dancing
Brian.
his way through the line and is finally taken down after a gain of about 8.
Brian, taking a look at the sideline. Wildwood looks awful thin on the sideline. If you take a look down on their bench. Looks like about 8 players on the Wildwood sideline.
2nd down and 3. 25-14 Shalick. They run a counter here, and Wildwood does a nice job on that one.
That was a good play.
As
flag here, Brian.
Thomas
comes
Kidwell
in late.
was held to a gain of about 2. We have a late flag coming in, and if you're Wildwood, you hope this isn't a face mask.
Certainly a late flag on
Now we
Wildwood.
have a personal foul called on Wildwood.
No good here, Brian. Drives the ball deep into Wildwood territory. Takes the ball down to about the 26-yard line after the personal foul is assessed. Shallock back up to the line of scrimmage with the no huddle. 2 minutes, 30 seconds, third quarter.
Wildwood at 4-1 coming into this game. Shalick at just 1-3. They hand it off to the fullback, and that's Nick Crisafulli, and he picks up quite a few yards through the middle of the Wildwood defense. Pickup of about 4. Brings up 2nd and 6.
That personal foul was assessed against Josh Sanchez, who's actually now on the sideline. And Wildwood certainly needs him in that middle.
Cafferty hands to Hart. Hart's got a first down. He's taken down inside the 15. Pickup of about 8.
He's been the player today, Brian, that the Warriors have had trouble stopping the whole game.
.21 carries for 241 yards, and he's also got a 92-yard kickoff return for a touchdown.
Shallock remains in that no-huddle offense, looking to the sideline for the call.
We're inside, or actually approaching 1 minute to go, third quarter. Crisafulli again, the fullback.
He's pushing the pile forward, Brian. Probably gains about 4 or 5 yards on that, just that play there. Brings up 2nd and 6.
Yeah, still a long way to go in this game, obviously, Scott, but this is the one thing that you're worried about with Wildwood. You know, at most this year, they've had 23 players in uniform. Now they look like they have 3 significant injuries, and this is a team that has no bye week this year. You know, they're playing 9 straight weeks. So, you know, this is where this is the kind of game where it could really hurt them going forward with these injuries.
Sure, Brian, and as we said, they look awful thin on the sideline, and they need every player playing, as we both know. Here comes Hart.
Cuts it back. He's up close to another first down. Picked up about 5 on that, maybe.
Looks like, Brian, he's inside the 5, I'd say. Be 3rd and 2.
That'll be the final play of
and 2.
And 2 at the 5. Fumble. But it looks like Shalick has recovered, but they're going to lose a yard there.
It'll be 4th down and a 3, Brian, it looks like at this point. Again, as we said over and over, 4th and a long 2, possibly 3. Big play for Wildwood here. Shallock stays in the no huddle. 11
stop here, and Wildwood certainly still in the game. Shallock gets this first down or a touchdown. It's going to be really tough for the Warriors. Hand off to Hart. Hart will have a first down. He'll have a touchdown. Hart runs it in. Terrell Hart from 5 yards out, and Shalick is now up 31-14.
Brian, he's been the best player on the field today. Is, you know, Hart coming in from the, you know, tremendous amount of yardage, and with 4th down play there, 4th and 3, breaks through the right side and goes in from 5 yards out.
Joe Merkel on for Merker for the extra point kick. It's away.
Good, Brian.
And that one is good.
32.
Shalick will line up to kick off.
Squib again.
Squib kick.
Get the ball.
And it looks like Shallock's got this one too. No,
Wildwood did get the ball.
Does dive on it at their own 40.
That's been tough, Brian. Every kickoff's been an experience for Wildwood trying to get the ball on the squib or the bounce. Wildwood will have the ball on their own 40-yard line.
Trailing by 3 scores here.
Again, Wes Hill's at quarterback currently. Brings Wildwood to the line of scrimmage. Francis Christian. Mark Kunkel in the backfield with Wes Hills.
1st and 10 for the Warriors at their own 40.
Bad
Hills
snap
takes a
again.
bad snap, is able to scoop it up. He's going to try to turn the corner
side.
here.
Here he comes, Brian.
Sticks his head down and picks up about 3.
Again, slow developing play, but Hills got to the outside and picked up about 3. Be 2nd and 7. 10 minutes, 45 seconds left to go in the 4th quarter. 32-14. Hills breaks the huddle. Same setup, same personnel again. Christian Kunkel in the backfield.
Snaps have been an adventure here.
Got a little low snap. Hills handles it. Comes out to the right. Just not nice run there,
Brian. Real nice run to stay on his feet there. He picked up about 5.
Let's go, hurry up.
It'll be 3rd and 1. 10 minutes left to go.
It'll bring up 3rd down and a long 1 or 2 here. They're going to mark the ball right at the 48.
Got to get to the 50.
They need to get to the 50.
That first down. Hills back into the huddle. Wildwood needs to pick up the pace a little bit here, Brian, with 9 minutes and 45 seconds to go in the 4th quarter. Certainly needs to get this first down. Kyle, good snap that time. Unusual. Here comes Francis Christian quickly to the outside. Stopped. I don't know how good that is.
Yeah.
Just too much playing around, and the play took too long to develop, Ryan. And Christian loses about 6 yards.
Yeah, well, that's a situation there where you have to know down and distance.
Brings up 4th and about 9 yards after the 6-yard loss.
Christian loses 7. That'll bring up 4th down and 9. And it looks like Wildwood is going to go for it. They really don't have a choice here. Inside 9 minutes to go, trailing by 18.
Hills trots back out to the field. It's a strange play, Brian. Looked like Christian had a little bit of an opening and he cut it back. Not exactly sure why, but direct snap. Good snap that time.
Hills fakes
Hills.
a pass. Is going to
Hills,
run.
bring it to the outside and stop.
Wow, is he
Fumbled
hit
the
big
football.
and fumbles the football, and Shalick has it. Hills picked up about 4 yards and got belted at the 45-yard line.
Coughed up the ball, which he had problems with tonight, Brian.
Really wouldn't have mattered anyway. It was 4th down, so would have been a turnover on downs.
So it looks like Shallock takes over the ball at about the 47-yard line. 46-47, Wildwood. Wildwood side.
And leading 32-14 with 8:18 to go. I'm sure Shalick at this point will
Give the ball to Harsh.
keep the ball on the ground. And again, Wildwood is really depleted here defensively. Now Shalick will
Actually
take a
called.
timeout.
Here comes Hart again. Bro, good tackle there. Who was that? Khalil Giddings on the tackle. Nice stop there, Brian. Brought the ball back down to about the 40-yard line.
Yeah, Hart picks up 3, 2nd down and 7.
7 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the 4th quarter. Shallock stays in that no huddle.
This time, McCafferty's in the shotgun. Kind of a busted play here, it almost looks like. McCafferty turns the corner. Is hit, goes down inbounds.
Actually hit pretty hard there, Brian.
Picked up about 2 or 3.
It's no huddle, but it's very slow. Taking time off the clock with about 7 minutes to go in the 4th quarter.
3rd down and about 5 or 6 here. This time McCafferty goes under center. It's a counter.
Oh,
And good job by Wildwood to
nice
stop.
play, nice tackle. Francis Christian
Kid-
on the tackle.
Kidwell after a gain of about, actually may have lost a yard.
4th down, Brian, at about 6 yards. Maybe a long, may call it a long 5.
So 4th down and a little over 5 yards.
6 minutes to go, 4th quarter.
We're inside 6 minutes to play now with Shallock on top 32-14.
Oh, he
Snap.
kicked it. Quick
And
kick
actually,
there, Brian.
yeah, quick kick.
In the
And it's
end
going to go
zone.
into the end zone. So that'll go down as a
Back to the 20-yard line.
7.
Brian, they're in a difficult spot with West Hills at the quarterback position. Obviously, as you know, They want him in the running back spot. Not having Devin Bradshaw certainly hurts, but hopefully no one else from Wildwood, they can get through the rest of this game with no one else getting injured.
Yeah, and one of the other problems is, Tyler Gentek is not in uniform for the Warriors tonight as well. He's out, and he is the team's backup quarterback, which is why Wes Hills has moved to the quarterback position. Good snap to Hills. He's going to take off. Breaks a tackle through the middle. Still on his feet. Dives forward. That's a good run there by Hills. Picks up about 7 and bring up 2nd and 3.
Good run right up the middle, Brian. 5 minutes, 20 seconds to go in the game. Wildwood still huddling up here.
Just over 5 minutes to go. Shallock up 32-14.
Direct snap to Hills.
Looking downfield. He's going to chuck it up. This ball's going to be held up in the air. It's intercepted. And taken down on the far side after the interception is John Gallo.
Mark Kunkel on the tackle. Just not a good pass by Wes Hills. First down, Shalick. Inside the Wildwood 35. Somebody from Wildwood looks like they're down and hurt. Can't really see the number.
Shallock to get some subs into the game here as Dante Camilli will come in at quarterback for Shallock. He hands
nice
it off.
tackle
Nice play there
and that
by
was
Wes Hills.
Shot right through the middle,
Scott,
made a nice tackle.
Scott Roseborough was the carrier. He lost 7.
Put Shallock back to the 40-yard line. Wes shot right through the middle, made a nice tackle. 4 minutes, 20 seconds to go in the fourth quarter.
Inside handoff to the fullback, Brian Hiley, and Hiley loses a yard. So it'll bring up 3rd down and about 18 for Shallock.
Just under 4 minutes to go in the game. 32-14, Shallock.
Shallock about to move to 2 and 3. Wildwood will drop to 4 and 2. Handoff, Roseborough, and he loses a yard.
Dave Flanders on the tackle for Wildwood.
Next week, Wildwood goes to Gloucester, which will be a very daunting task. Just to, if you go by comparative scores, Gloucester beat Shalick 33-13 earlier this year.
Certainly going to be a tough game, and you're going to need that quarterback and Jose Valentine back for Wildwood. Hopefully, with the concussion problems, can get back.
And Shalick certainly doesn't have it easy next week either. They go to Pensgrove. They make a habit of hanging 50 on people and make no apologies for it.
What's the Shallock's coach, or the Pensgrove's coach name?
And it's Shallock calls timeouts. St. Augustine Prep was on their way to a big win. There's a kicks away. Back is Christian, and a bad night just gets worse for Wildwood as the punt is downed inside the 10-yard line.
Looking about the 5-yard line, Brian. 2 minutes, 41 seconds left, fourth quarter. Spirit played tonight, correct, Brian?
Yeah, they were tied with Millville going into the fourth. Have not gotten an update on that. Atlantic City was up 14-0 on Buna a while ago.
I think Millville's had a pretty good season, so I expected that to be a pretty good game. Spirit 2-2 on the season.
Cedar Creek beat Pleasantville Hills in the shotgun on the two-point conversion try here. Flag is down. Pass is thrown to Francis Christian. It's incomplete. The flag, I believe, is going to go against Wildwood for illegal formation. That's exactly what it is. So that'll be declined and the pass fails.
Him up at the line and probably stacked some guys on the line of scrimmage and did a nice job against Hills. But it's 3 long runs, as we said. Once he breaks through that line, if he gets an opening, he's actually gone.
And as we said earlier, the killer was, with about 4 minutes left in the third quarter, Hills had his first 94-yard touchdown run. Brought Wildwood to within 5, and then Terrell Hart returned the ensuing kickoff 92 yards for a touchdown. And that really,
as we said, Brian,
took the air out of the sails of an injury-depleted Wildwood team playing without 2 starters here in the second half.
Here's the onside
It's an onside kick for Wildwood, and
Shallock
smartly just catches it and falls down on top of it. So Shallock will have it at their own 44.
Now you're going to get the Shallock starters, as you see, back in the game. Hart back in the game.
Yeah, McCafferty comes back in at quarterback. 1st and 10 for Shallock from their own 44. 2:24 to go in the football game.
Again, Brian, they stay in that no huddle, looking to the sideline for the play call up at the line of scrimmage.
Handoff to Hart, breaks a tackle, and then is pushed out of bounds after a gain of 1 or 2.
2:15 to go in the fourth quarter. 32-20.
So that stops the clock as Hart was pushed out of bounds. Wildwood actually had a shot to get him in the backfield, and he broke that tackle and picked up about 2.
2nd and 8, long 8. Hart's actually out of the game on this play, Brian. Goes to the fullback.
Yeah, handoff to Solomon. He picks up 3. And it looks like Wildwood's going to call timeout.
2 minutes and 8 seconds in the fourth quarter, 32-20, timeout Wildwood. Kunkel back on the field for Wildwood after that injury. Cedar Creek, what a job by their coaching staff and everything else, being their first year with all varsity players. Same thing with, as you know, Brian, we talk about a lot. I expect their basketball program to do well too. Girls basketball did a very nice job last year. They had a good year in sports.
3rd down and 6 for Shalick. 2:08 to go in this game. They lead by 12 over Wildwood. They hand it off inside to Solomon, breaks a tackle. He's going to be about 2 yards shy of a 1st down.
And they had him, Brian, in the backfield, probably with like a 2-yard loss. He bowled through, pulled it with
breaks one, and all of a sudden you're in a position where you have to field an onside kick to win the game. However, if you do go for it and get the 1st down, the game's essentially over with Wildwood out of timeouts.
You know what they did the last time when they did the quick kick when Wildwood had nobody back. So that's always a possibility, but I would think they would keep the ball on the ground here.
Yeah, McCafferty is going to come up under center.
Pulls out from this underneath the center.
Hart is actually out of the game. Kidwell is in as the running back. as the tailback.
Let me go into the fullback here, and
it's a toss to Kidwell. Kidwell turns the corner, and he's going to be real close to the first down.
Short,
it's going to depend on the spot.
I think he's actually short of the first down. And I think it's going to be – it's close, but I think it's going to be Wildwood ball. On downs, I think he's short, Brian. Very close, but I believe he's short. Looks like it's going to be Wildwood football, 1st and 10 with 1:57 to go in the 4th quarter.
Yeah,
so big stop.
Yeah, you got to give Wildwood credit, Scott. I mean, they are completely depleted with those injuries right now, and they've actually done a nice job defensively the last couple of possessions.
I agree, and certainly Shallock trying to run the clock out.
And as I said, if you happen to break one here, now you're lining up for an onside kick. And, we'll see what Wildwood decides to do here. If they let Hills try to run it and try to break another one, or if maybe he'll elect to put the ball in the air.
I think they might be better off letting him run the ball, Brian. I don't know
might be
about
right.
Passing.
1st and 10 for Wildwood at their own 47. Christian goes in motion. Hills takes the snap. He's going to follow those players. Now turns the corner. Cuts it back again across the green. Dives forward. And after all that, he maybe picked up a yard.
1:44 to go. 1:40 to go. Wildwood needs to get moving here, Brian.
Yeah, they're out of timeouts.
Just out of sorts without your quarterback.
Yeah, you have a kid that's not normally a quarterback playing the position. It's tough for them to hurry up and no huddle. They have to make sure. And you look, he's got his hands on his knees. He's absolutely exhausted. You can't blame him. Hills takes a direct snap. He's going to run again. Sticks his head down and picks up about 5.
With under a minute to go now, Brian, in the game. And as we said, Wildwood does not really have a no-huddle offense here. It's really dropping back into a huddle with 50 seconds to go. But again, as we said, just out of sorts without a quarterback.
3rd down and 4 for the Warriors. They trail 32-20,
and the clock continues to run.
Yeah. If Wildwood is out of timeouts.
Throw Francis into the quarterback slot, it looks like to me, and Hill splits out wide. And they snap to Christian. Christian comes to the left-hand side.
The corner.
Down the sideline,
Cuts.
Goes back inside. He could have been out of balance there.
I think he's going to have a 1st down.
I think he is as well.
That's going to momentarily stop the clock. He picks up about 8.
12 seconds to go in the game, Brian. So, although an effective play, just took up too much time. And
yeah, it looks like Wildwood, unless there's an incomplete pass or a run for a 1st down or a touchdown, this
down
could
to
be
the 40.
The last play of the game here. Christian spikes it.
With 9 seconds to go in the game, Brian.
Wildwood trying to get another score here before the end of the game. They have the ball at the 40-yard line. It'll now be 2nd and 10 with 9 seconds to go in the game.
32-20.
And this will, as Matt Ulmer can certainly attest to, this will keep our streak alive of no matter what game we go to on a Friday night, it's always the last one to end. Every other game on the docket tonight.
I'm assuming Millville won that game. Is that correct, Brian? And Spirit?
Yes, 27-20.
27-20. Millville beat Spirit. Spirit drops to 2 and 3.
We just got a final from Vineland and Lower Cape May.
I was looking for that one. Direct
Vineland
snap
beats Lower Cape May 24-14.
Christian throws incomplete.
It's incomplete. He was looking for
4
Hills
seconds.
out in the flat. And it's a shame. I'm not saying this to be degrading at all, but it's gotten almost comical now. I mean, Wildwood's got Francis Christian in the game at quarterback, and the way he threw the football there, it's obvious he doesn't have a lot of experience at the quarterback position. But these injuries have just decimated this team right now. And really, when you think about it, they really did a nice job in the second half considering who they were missing.
Well, it's tough when you don't have your first string or your second string quarterback. And I guess at this point, snapping the ball directly to Christian and putting Hills on the outside.
Well, now this time, yeah, Hills goes back to the quarterback position. 4 seconds to go. And this most likely will be the final play of the game. Hills takes the snap. He's going to try the right side. Cuts through the middle. Is taken down after a gain of about 7, and that'll do it. So Shallock wins it 32-20 over Wildwood. And we thank all of our sponsors for helping us bring you this game on Cape May County Sports.com. Diamond Beach Bums, the Tomcat Restaurant, J. Byrne Agency, Sea Point Village Realty, and Ulmer's Appliance. For Scott McCracken, I'm Brian Kniff. Thanks for joining us. Shallock beats Wildwood 32-20.